welcome to Monday Night Raw. After last week's Survivor Series pay-per-view, that bumper episode, we are here at Monday Night Raw for the aftermath of Survivor Series. We had an incredible time as we picked up a victory at Survivor Series, earning that number 30 spot in the Royal Rumble. But the question is, who will earn that number 30 spot? We do find out tonight. Although we'll be finding that out in the main event, what we'll be finding out right now is who will be facing Becky Lynch at the Royal Rumble. And I thought there's no better way than getting the other women, the women that we haven't actually showcased yet on the roster, into one match to find out who is going to face them. So this is a fatal four-way match, and the first of those four women as the poisoned pixie herself, Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae's husband, Johnny Gargano, has actually found a lot of success so far on the roster by winning the Intercontinental title and then beating Cesaro at Survivor Series. So can she follow in his footsteps and earn a spot to face Becky Lynch at the Royal Rumble? Next up is Kacy Catanzaro, the high flyer herself, is here, and can she pull off an upset? Everyone else in this match is a lot more experienced than Kacy Catanzaro, but that you shouldn't count her out because of that. Kacy Catanzaro is an incredible high flyer, incredible flexibility. As you see her climbing the ring post there, just showing how flexible she is. Trust me, she should probably be a favourite in this match rather than an underdog, knowing how good she is. Next up is Nikki Cross. The crazy Nikki Cross is back. She's going mental here. She's finally out of that superhero gimmick and she's running to the ring right now. This woman is probably a favourite in this matchup. She could literally defeat anyone on her day with her crazy persona. If there is a chance to get weapons involved like there is in this match, you cannot count this woman out. Nikki Cross is here to play. And finally, the tank is here. That's right, the tank is here, and so is Shotzi Blackheart. Shotzi has had multiple attempts actually at the Women's Championship on the main roster, but she's never managed to capture the gold. She's got another opportunity to get another opportunity at the title here, but she can't use the tank. She cannot use this as a weapon. It would be very hard to do so, but if anyone really has that experience on this main roster at championship matches, it is Shotzi Blackheart. But can she do it, get herself to that title match once again? Let's see, shall we? And here we go, the Fatal 4-Way is underway. Finally, we get to see these four women. It just shows how packed our roster is, that when we showcase the women in the first 3 weeks, none of these women actually appeared. That's a lovely move by Kacy Catanzaro there on Shotzi Blackheart, as Nikki Cross and Candice LeRae are going, hey, it's a lovely move again by Kacy Catanzaro. I mean, the crowd might not be familiar with Kacy Catanzaro, but trust me, they will be by the end of this match. And don't be surprised if she ends up winning this one, as she springboard drop kicks, or she attempted to springboard drop kick Shotzi Blackheart there, but she didn't manage to do it, as Nikki Cross is trying to bust open Candice LeRae there, but I don't think she managed to do it, as there's a pinfall, and it's only a 1 count there. It's far too early in this matchup to defeat Candice LeRae. You haven't done enough damage just yet, Nikki Cross. And as I mentioned before, the caliber of women on this roster is incredible. You got to think Becky Lynch, Shayna Baszler, Bayley, and Asuka are the four women that we showcased before. And then you've got these four incredible women's wrestlers on this roster. Becky Lynch better watch out, because if she lets up for even a second, she will end up losing that title. Becky Lynch, remember, did defeat the SmackDown Women's Champion Ronda Rousey at the Survivor Series pay-per-view, which helped Raw secure themselves that number 30 spot in the Royal Rumble. And that was an incredible performance by Becky Lynch. She did not let up, and Ronda Rousey suffered the effects. Becky's far too good, you see. Becky is far too good. As Kacy Catanzaro there with another high-flying move. I really thought for a second there that Nikki Cross was going to be defeated by Kacy Catanzaro. And this has been an incredibly impressive performance by Kacy Catanzaro. She is so different to everyone else on this roster, which is why I said she's probably a favourite in my head, because her high-flying ability and what she does in the ring is so different to everybody else. You cannot predict what she is going to do next. And Becky Lynch herself would have never faced anyone like Kacy Catanzaro. Is that a code breaker there? I think that was a code breaker by Catanzaro 2, and Nikki Cross is in trouble yet again. If Shotzi and Candice LeRae aren't careful here, Kacy Catanzaro is going to win this match with reasonable ease right now, as Kacy Catanzaro has actually turned her focus onto Shotzi Blackheart, or has she? She's thrown Shotzi out of the ring to try and focus on Nikki Cross. That is actually incredibly smart ring awareness there by Kacy Catanzaro. Remember, Kacy Catanzaro, who has appeared on American Ninja Warrior. That's how WWE found out about her. As Candice LeRae there trying to submit Shotzi on the outside of the ring. It's not a Falls Count Anywhere match. However, it is one hell of a way of tiring your opponent there, as Shotzi does eventually manage to get out of that. And Nikki with a small package here. Could she catch Kacy Catanzaro off guard? But she doesn't. She doesn't manage to do so. Nikki's in a lot of trouble here. I think Nikki needs to get away from the middle of this ring. Or try and maybe get some weapons, because Kacy Catanzaro right now has her number. As Shotzi Blackheart and Candice LeRae are still going at it on the outside of the ring against each other. And Kacy Catanzaro is tried for the dropkick yet again, but for whatever reason that dropkick doesn't seem to be working. It seems to be countered quite easily. It seems like the wrestlers in this match seem to see it coming. As Nikki Cross there, that was worrying for Kacy Catanzaro fans, as that was almost an easy victory for Nikki Cross. Barely any damage done to Kacy Catanzaro yet. Nikki Cross got awfully close there, and Kacy has now managed to roll to the outside of the ring, as Shotzi Blackheart is going to the top rope. She's going to the top rope, and she's done it. She's hit that Samoan drop on Candice LeRae, but she's noticed that she's not going to get the pinfall unless she takes out Nikki Cross right now. And that's the joys of a fatal 4-way, is you've always got to have eyes in the back of your head, and Shotzi definitely had eyes in the back of her head there, and she just dumps Nikki Cross to the outside of the ring. And Nikki is dealing a lot of damage here. It seems like Nikki is the one. Oh, that's a lovely move there by Kacy Catanzaro. Nikki seems to be the one in so much trouble that everyone is fighting over having Nikki Cross to try and pin her. Although it seems like Shotzi and Candice LeRae have been distracted by each other once again, as Nikki Cross has been countered there by Kacy, and it's just, this is the beginning of the end, I feel, for Nikki Cross. Any minute now, if Nikki ends up in the middle of that ring, this match is going to end, as everyone else hasn't been dealt nearly enough damage as Nikki has been dealt during this matchup. As I don't know what Kacy Catanzaro is going for here. I think she wasn't 100% sure herself. Again, she's not a veteran. She hasn't been in the ring for very long in comparison to the other women in this ring. So don't be surprised if Kacy makes a couple of odd mistakes here. As Shotzi Blackheart is picking up Candice LeRae there. They seem to be wanting to take this into the middle of the ring. And Candice LeRae is going to follow her. Shotzi Blackheart has Candice LeRae at her peril. She's going to go to the middle rope. She does this Samoan drop there from the middle rope. Candice LeRae is in trouble. 1, 2, and 3. Shotzi Blackheart is going to the Royal Rumble to face Becky Lynch. That's right. It came almost out of nowhere. You kind of noticed over time as Kacy Catanzaro was taking it to Nikki Cross that Kacy just wasn't getting her into the middle of the ring. Shotzi Blackheart kept Candice LeRae on the outside of the ring, but every time she got Candice LeRae close to being defeated, she put her shoved her into the middle of the ring and made sure that she was in a pinnable position. That is the ability of Shotzi Blackheart there. She didn't even look the one on top, but she managed to take those moments where she was on top to make sure that she secured that victory. Shotzi Blackheart versus Becky Lynch will be happening at the Royal Rumble, but can she get that Raw Women's Championship? Here he is, finally, we are getting to see Logan Paul here on Monday Night Raw. We drafted him to the roster, but he just never seemed to arrive. And here he is, he's finally here. Logan Paul, the internet sensation, getting beaten up the last few weeks, really, by Dexter Lumis. Dexter Lumis has been terrorizing Logan Paul. But Logan Paul made sure to get extra security, made sure that we provided extra security for him so he could arrive here and so he could actually speak to the fans. He wanted to publicly speak about the Dexter Lumis attacks, and it's really going to be interesting to see what Logan Paul has to say all about it. Logan, welcome to Monday Night Raw, and fingers crossed Dexter Lumis stays well out of your way and gives you your moment to shine. Let's hear what he has to say. This isn't how I expected my first WWE appearance to go, but let me cut to the chase. Dexter Lumis is a creep, and if that creep doesn't get his ass out here, I'll go backstage and find him myself. Holy shit, it's Dexter Lumis, and he's just kicked Logan Paul. What the hell is going on here? Dexter, why? After that attack by Dexter Lumis, we've had confirmation that it will be Logan Paul versus Dexter Lumis next week to settle the score between the two of them. And speaking of settling the score, it's time for Sami Zayn versus Xavier Woods, because Xavier Woods attacked Sami Zayn while Sami Zayn was at ringside supporting the Usos. He never got involved in that matchup, but Xavier Woods got annoyed and attacked him anyway. So Sami Zayn issued the challenge for them to face each other this week, and Xavier Woods has accepted, which means that this match is happening right now. Sami Zayn was in the Money in the Bank ladder match, but didn't manage to win that one. Instead, it was RVD who managed to secure the briefcase. So I think Sami Zayn is going to want to get a win under his belt and win this one against Xavier Woods. And here is Xavier Woods with Francesca the trombone with him. If you're wondering why there's nobody at ringside, it's come from upper management that they want no interferences in this one. No one at ringside. They don't want this to drag on. They don't want another incident like Xavier Woods attacking Sami Zayn. They want the opportunity for these two to settle the score between themselves and find out who the better man between these two is, and avoid no outside interference. We've heard so much support for Sami Zayn over the last few weeks, but there was some Sami sucks chants there. It seems like the New Day's popularity is taken away from Sami Zayn's popularity in this one. And we finally get the grudge match between these two. This has been built since week 2. Our second week of Monday Night Raw, and Sami was like, I want this to be settled post Survivor Series. He wanted to focus on the Money in the Bank, but unfortunately he didn't manage to secure the briefcase in that one. And he's kind of said to a few people backstage, and he said to the Bloodline that was a distraction, actually. This Xavier Woods incident really distracted him from being able to prepare for that Money in the Bank match properly. So he felt that Xavier Woods is really the sole reason why he didn't win that briefcase and bring it home to the Bloodline to be able to get that to get the Universal Championship to the Bloodline, as Roman Reigns didn't manage to secure that one in week 3. And for those of you that are wondering what's going to happen with the Universal Championship as the punishment for Keith Lee losing against Drew McIntyre, the WWE champion at Survivor Series, is that he's going to have to hold an open challenge. That open challenge will be next week, so you'll have to stay tuned for that one. As this has been a really even contest so far, but Xavier Woods has managed to get the upper hand in these early stages right now, as he's taking it to Sami Zayn on the outside of the ring, maybe hoping to deal a bit more damage using the outside to his arsenal. As you've got to remember, Sami Zayn was in the Money in the Bank match, so he's going to feel some wear and tear, whereas Xavier Woods, I know they lost to the Usos a couple of weeks ago, but he's had those couple of weeks to recover, you know. He hasn't been in a ladder match like Sami Zayn has been. As the count is currently up to 6, these two are not caring about the count right now, as Xavier Woods is finally getting back into the ring, and he doesn't care. Is Xavier going to take the heel victory here? Xavier Woods, what are you doing? The Bloodline has gotten into the head of... The Bloodline's gotten into the head of the New Day and is forcing them to use their heelish tactics once again, as this is a blue thunderbomb now to Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods is in trouble. He shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have taken the heelish victory there that he was about to take. The fans are shocked. There is silence amongst the fans. No one really knows what to make of it, as it's 1, that's 2, but it's a kick out by Xavier Woods. I'm really, really surprised there. Xavier Woods, Kofi Kids, and the Big E have really put themselves on this pedestal of not taking the heelish ways and going back on what they were initially. As that's a haluva kick there by Sami Zayn. This could be it. Xavier Woods, and he's kicked out. Xavier Woods' heart right there on show, and Sami Zayn is pissed off. Look at this here. He's taking it to Xavier Woods right on top of the head, and there's a slap there to Xavier Woods. Sami Zayn is not impressed whatsoever, and Xavier Woods is not in a good way. Sami's up to the top rope, but there's a splash there. An Uso splash by Sami Zayn onto Xavier Woods. Sami Uso here, absolutely taking it to the New Day zone. I think, genuinely, that kick out there by Xavier Woods and the fact that Xavier Woods is going to take the heelish ways of a victory is really, really pissed off Sami Zayn. And Sami Zayn is not impressed. And I think Sami Zayn has managed to counter that. The referee was in the way there. He has managed to counter it. And Xavier Woods just can't get a move in right now. That backbreaker there. 1, 2... and 3, the backbreaker to Xavier Woods. Get the medical personnel out, because Xavier Woods usually kicks out of moves like that. So Xavier Woods is not in a good way. That seemed to have really cracked his back. He might have broken his spine there. But the most important thing there is Sami Zayn has won that matchup. He is, since being on the roster, he has beaten Pete Dunne and Xavier Woods. Sami Zayn is on an absolute roll right now. An unbelievable role, and he's defeated the New Day's Xavier Woods. The New Day with not a single victory on their repertoire so far, but Sami Zayn in singles matches undefeated. An unbelievable performance there by Sami Zayn. And here we go. Here is the match we alluded to earlier. The number 30 spot in the Royal Rumble is on the line, and the first man into this match is Roman Reigns. That's right, the GOAT, the tribal chief, the daddy himself. Roman Reigns is out here for some retribution, really. He has not managed to notch up a victory on his belt so far, but he has been involved in multi-man matches. If you remember at Survivor Series, that controversial ending to Survivor Series in the traditional 4v4, the elimination match, not only was did the referee call the match despite there only being 1 elimination, he also called the pinfall when Seth Rollins had his hand on the ropes. So all 4 members of our Survivor Series team are in this matchup. One of those men that we haven't really seen in action to a large extent is the phenomenal AJ Styles. This is going to be one hell of a matchup. The phenomenal AJ Styles finally steps into the Raw ring after being away, really. We knew he was going to be on Team Raw. We needed that team to be phenomenal, but we got screwed by the referee. But luckily, it didn't matter, and we still managed to win number 30 thanks to Johnny Gargano, Becky Lynch, and the Usos. And here is a man who has struggled since the start of this universe mode. He got pinned in the triple threat match between Roman Reigns, Keith Lee, and himself for the Universal Championship. And he got pinned in that 4v4 match at Survivor Series. Yes, his hand was on the ropes, but you gotta think he was the one that was pinned in the first place. So Seth Rollins, in every single match so far he's been in, he has been pinned. So he's gonna want to take destiny into his hands and get that number 30 spot out of nowhere. And the final member that was a part of Team Raw is Big E. The New Day haven't notched up a victory themselves so far. They didn't win the tag team titles. Xavier Woods lost earlier in the night. Big E himself lost at Survivor Series. So he, like Seth Rollins, is going to want a bit of retribution and want to win a match. A lot of these guys haven't won so far. So he's definitely going to want that victory and get that number 30 spot for the New Day. However, these are not the only men in this matchup because they lost at Survivor Series. That our team of 4 who lost at Survivor Series aren't going to be alone in this one. We're going to take the 2 most impressive performers from Survivor Series, Cedric Alexander and the next man who comes out, and put them into this match. Cedric Alexander actually picked up an injury at the Survivor Series in that Money in the Bank ladder match. Apparently he has a fracture in his back to his spine, but he's apparently been medically cleared. I didn't expect him to be medically cleared, but he is medically cleared in this match and possibly could win number 30 for himself. Cedric Alexander coming out of nowhere as a contender in the men's singles division. And the other man who was mightily impressive was Cameron Grimes. He almost single-handedly won the Money in the Bank match by just every time a SmackDown superstar went up to climb that ladder, Cameron Grimes was consistently the man that took them down and stopped them from winning. So Cameron Grimes also joins the team of 4 from Survivor Series in this matchup. That's right, it's a 6-pack challenge to find out who will be number 30 in the Royal Rumble. Here we go. Here is your 6-pack challenge, and as you can see, to Cedric Alexander there, his back with some light damage. He has been medically cleared. He is not in a good way though. He's got dealt so much damage in that matchup. He's easily going to be the one that people are going to be targeting in this one, but you never discount the underdog. He was this close to winning the Money in the Bank match, and then RVD snatched it away from him. You got to remember, Cedric Alexander isn't used to big matches on the main roster, as I think Roman Reigns has been busted open there by Seth Rollins. Big E is going after AJ Styles, and the 2 men who were in the Money in the Bank match together, Cameron Grimes and Cedric Alexander, are battling it out as Cedric is trying to get an early victory here, but he doesn't manage to do it. All 6 of these men deserve to be number 30 in the Royal Rumble. The 4 men who are in our Survivor Series team, all former world champions, and then you've got the 2 incredible performances by Cedric Alexander and Cameron Grimes, who just showed they both deserve that main event stage that they got given, really, by being in that Money in the Bank match. Both very close to winning that briefcase, as it seems like Seth Rollins here is on an absolute mad one right now. He's been taking it to Roman Reigns and busted him open badly, and has just taken it there to AJ Styles, as Cameron Grimes now has Roman Reigns in trouble with the backbreaker there. And Cedric Alexander is already rolled to the outside of the ring, not in a good way whatsoever. You could just see him sauntering around the ring, not looking good with his back, as Cedric DDT, the springboard DDT to Cameron Grimes. That's a lovely move there by Cedric. Cedric has been booed when he first appeared, but really earned the respect of the fans at Survivor Series, and is getting cheered immensely in this matchup so far. It's lovely to see the support that Cedric Alexander is getting, as Cedric is taking it to AJ here, and Cameron Grimes is battling it out with Big E right now, and he's actually getting the better of this exchange. Cameron Grimes he never looks like he's going to lose, really. He just always looks like he's on top in the matchup, as Cedric Alexander there stops the double team by Seth Rollins and AJ Styles, as Roman Reigns right now back into the ring and pissed. Roman Reigns is not impressed. He's still trying to go after Seth Rollins, who busted him open. He's not very happy with the fact that he's been busted open. Did Cameron Grimes just go for the curb stomp on Seth Rollins there? I'm pretty sure Cameron Grimes went for the curb stomp on Seth Rollins. I'm bemused. Cameron Grimes' arrogance never fails to amaze me. He is consistently confident, as I think the cave in there was countered by Cedric Alexander. It's a lovely counter there by Cedric, and all 6 men are back in this ring once again. And Big E, is he going for the big ending? Big E with the big ending on AJ Styles, but it's a rope break there, and a curb stomp to Roman Reigns, and Cedric's trying to nick the victory there, but he doesn't manage to do it. He's gone for the pin again, but it's been broken up. Big E with the splash. No, it's been missed. AJ Styles managed to move out the way quickly there. All 6 men getting a little bit desperate right now. It's a signature move frenzy, as there's the Styles clash by AJ onto Big E, but Cedric manages to block that pinfall, and there's a springboard there by AJ Styles. Lovely stuff so far in this matchup. All of these men really want to win this one, as there's the Falcon Arrow there by Seth Rollins. This is incredible to see. All 6, no one's really struggling in this matchup. All 6 getting a large amount of offense in. Oh, this is not going to help Cedric's back, and he's been thrown to the outside of the ring. And Big E is cheering that one, as Seth Rollins now has been busted open by Cameron Grimes. I think Roman Reigns would have wanted to bust Seth Rollins open on his own, but I don't think he'll mind as long as Seth Rollins is the one busted open, as there's an electric chair drop there by Big E. Cedric Alexander's back is getting targeted massively so far, and do you blame anyone? Cedric, we're informed about Cedric's back injury, as there's a curb stomp there by Seth Rollins on Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes is in trouble. 1, and there we go. There's the breakup by Roman Reigns. What's this? It's Seth Rollins with the pedigree on Roman Reigns there. And is he going? Oh, I thought he was going for the curb stop there on Roman Reigns. Actually, out of everybody, Roman Reigns is the one that's had to roll out to the outside of the ring the most times out of anybody. It does seem like Roman seems to be struggling. His arrogance, he seems to be really good maybe in singles matches, but once multiple men are targeting him, noticing him as the alpha male in the match, he's really struggling, as Cameron Grimes is in trouble again. Seth Rollins with the curb stomp. Cedric Alexander's there though. Is he though? He's in the ring. 1, 2, he's left it. And Seth Rollins, Cedric Alexander. What are you doing, Cedric? Cedric Alexander could have easily have blocked that pinfall, but he just got confused for whatever reason. I wonder whether Cedric picked up a concussion in that one. But Seth Rollins out of nowhere picking up the victory and pinning Cameron Grimes. Seth Rollins will be number 30 in the Royal Rumble, and he put himself in a wonderful opportunity there to actually face the Universal Champion at WrestleMania. The Architect is once again possibly going to win the Royal Rumble. Right, and that is it for this episode of Monday Night Raw. What an incredible episode that was. We found out that Seth Rollins will be number 30 in the Royal Rumble, and that Shotzi Blackheart will be facing Becky Lynch at the Royal Rumble. Next week, we have 2 incredible matchups that have been confirmed by upper management. It is Logan Paul versus Dexter Lumis, the grudge match between those 2, and Logan Paul's first match on Monday Night Raw. And the main event next week will be Keith Lee versus a mystery opponent in an open challenge. That's right, the third matchup next week has not been announced so far, so do keep an eye on my socials to find out if there is any confirmation before we get to next week. But those are two incredible matches, and could Keith Lee lose his Universal Championship? Well, that is all next week, but make sure to drop a like button, make sure to show Raw some love and basically prove that we are the best brand in WWE. Do comment down below your thoughts to this show and to Seth Rollins eking out that victory there. And if you're new here, please do subscribe so you do not miss an episode, and I shall see all of you in the next video. See ya! What was Cedric Alexander doing? That injury really has harmed him, hasn't it?